Hello, this is Amber from Morgan James Author Support Team, and today I have the pleasure of speaking with Eliot Parker, the author of Snapshots. We're here with Eliot to talk about the release of his book. Eliot, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Amber, thanks so much for having me. Good to be with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to dive right in and ask you some questions about Snapshots. First off, your previous books have been novels, so why did you decide to write a collection of short stories this time around?
Well, this collection of short stories, Snapshots, is something that a project I've been working on for a long time. And I wanted to really work on short stories because I felt like as a writer, I learned how to become an author and become a serious writer writing short stories. Because in short stories, you have to really focus on character, you have to really focus on plot, you have to really focus on all those engaging elements of storytelling. And you have to do it within, 5,500 to 7,500 to 8,000 words.
Yeah.
This isn't something that goes on for 300 or 350 pages like you typically see in a novel. So it really helped me develop those skills as a writer, but it also helped me think about language and the economy of words and making sure that every word you put within a story needs to matter. It needs to propel the story forward and not to flower up the story with a bunch of unnecessary detail or information that's going to slow down the narrative. So all of those skills really helped me kind of learn and understand the craft of writing, which I was then able to kind of take into my novels. And so it was a lot of fun to kind of reverse the trend a little bit, as you said, and step back from novel writing for a little while and go back to the very first genre that I fell in love with as an author, which was short stories.
Very cool. Yeah, it's very cool that you are, like you said, revisiting what kind of, got you started and what taught you, how to develop those novels. So very cool. So which story is your favorite? Can you choose a favorite?
Oh my gosh, that's really difficult because it's almost like asking you to choose, between your children. If you have children, which one is your favorite?
Sure.
All of the stories are different in the collection. All of the stories are different in terms of not only plot and storyline, but they're also different in genre. So one of the things that readers will see if they pick up a copy of the book is there is a variety of different genres featured in this book. For example, we have some stories that are thriller stories. We have some stories that are romance based. We have some stories that are more speculative fiction. There's some science fiction elements woven into a couple of the stories. So no matter what a reader likes to read from, they'll find something that appeals to them in that collection of stories. I would have to say one of my favorite stories, I don't know if I could pick a favorite, but one of my favorite stories is a story towards the middle end of the collection called Old Lady. And in that story, we follow a woman named Rachel who is trying to get over the loss of her husband. She's trying to move on and find new love. And she's a wonderful character. I had so much fun developing her, but she's a very broken woman as well. And she's trying to heal her heart, mend her heart, but also move on with her life. And so it's a story about what happens when she has a random encounter with a stranger who helps her gain perspective into what is it going to take to finally move on from my previous relationship. But also I have this great new guy who really loves me and be able to move on in life with him. So this chance encounter with a random stranger really changes her perspective and changes her way of thinking and feeling. So I would say that's probably one of my favorite stories in the collection.
Yeah, I totally see why. I feel like you can fit so much character development and so many, thinking points into that kind of a story. So I love that. So how long did it take you to put all of these stories together? You said you've been writing short stories since the beginning. So how long did this book take to assemble?
I started, Amber, working on this in about 2011. And I was working on this collection in between working on the novels that I have published. It was nice to kind of step back from those novels from time to time if I was needing a break, if I'd been really heavily involved in the character development or the storyline of a novel, to kind of put the brakes on that and kind of shift my focus and work on a short story for a while, just to kind of change the perspective a little bit and change my focus. So off and on, I've been working on these since about 2011. Some of them had been published previously in other literary journals throughout the country, but there's quite a few new stories in this collection as well. So off and on since about 2011, and I was really excited to be able to kind of put this into a collection, have a theme that kind of connects all the stories together, and really grateful for Morgan James Publishing for believing in me and believing in the story and the collection altogether. So I was very fortunate and very excited about it.
Yeah, it was our privilege to be able to help produce this book, and we're so excited about the launch of it. So, before we sign off, I do want to give you the opportunity to tell the viewers at home how they can connect with you. So, where can we find you?
Sure. I have a website that's got information about not only Snapshots, but also my novels and my writing career and my interests and hobbies and all of that. My website address is eliotparker.com. That's ELIOTPARKER.com. I'm also on Facebook. I have a personal page and an author page that I check regularly. All you have to do is type in my name. I'm one of the few Eliots that has one L and one T, so it's easy to find me if you can spell my name right. I'm on Twitter. My Twitter handle is E4419, and I'm also on Instagram at Eliot.Parker. So I check all of those social media accounts and check my website regularly. So there's all kinds of different ways you can reach out and get in contact with me if you want to talk to me about Snapshots, or if you want to talk to me about any other writing projects that I've completed. So appreciate any comments and feedback that anybody wants to share.
Yeah, I love it. So as we're going through the short stories, and if we have something that we'd like to connect with you about, now we know how. So thank you again, Eliot, for joining me today. And thank you, viewers at home. Be sure to check out Snapshots wherever books are sold. Congratulations, Eliot.
Thanks, Amber, and thanks for the opportunity to talk with you.
Absolutely. Have a great day.
You too.